We're here at Peter Collins Soccer Park in Plainview, New York, the heart of Long Island Junior Soccer League, to present you with this brief video to parents and players of Eastern New York Youth Soccer Association. Eastern New York Youth Soccer Association is one of the oldest and largest soccer organizations in America, and it also is a nonprofit soccer organization, which is critically important for you as parents to know, so that you realize that everything that Eastern New York Youth Soccer Association does is not for a profit motive, but rather to help you have the best opportunities for your children to play soccer here in New York, from Montauk Point all the way to the Canadian border. We're here to present you with some information that we think is important for you to know as a parent of a soccer player here in New York. We're going to have interviews with some of the most well-known alumni from Eastern New York Youth Soccer Association and from some of the most successful soccer programs in America.
When it was time for the United States women's national team to celebrate their World Cup victory, they came to New York City's Canyon of Heroes, in the heart of Eastern New York territory. In addition, Eastern New York is home to 3 professional soccer franchises: the New York Cosmos, the New York Red Bulls, and NYCFC, making Eastern New York the envy of soccer fans all across America. Eastern New York Youth Soccer Association, or Eastern New York, is home to the oldest soccer league in America, the Cosmopolitan Youth Soccer League, and one of the largest, the Long Island Junior Soccer League. It was established as a nonprofit organization in 1972 to serve as a state association reporting to U.S. soccer. And while it may be almost 50, Eastern New York utilizes sports sign-up, social media, and the most modern technology to help our leagues run efficiently and effectively. Eastern New York serves over 100,000 youth players up to 19 years old, over 25,000 coaches, and volunteers with over 400 clubs, from Montauk Point, Long Island to the Canadian border and east of Route 81. And there are 11 leagues that make up Eastern New York: Long Island Junior Soccer League, Metro Kids, Big Apple Youth Soccer, Cosmopolitan Youth Soccer League, Staten Island Soccer League, Westchester Youth Soccer District, East Hudson Youth Soccer League, Hudson Valley Youth Soccer League, Capital District Youth Soccer League, Mid-State Soccer League, and Central New York Soccer League. Eastern New York is affiliated with USYS and reports directly to U.S. Soccer, which is a member of the CONCACAF region or confederation, which there are only 6 confederations in the world, and they all report to FIFA, the governing body of soccer all over the world. Eastern New York provides a variety of programs for all youth soccer players in New York. They say you can't be all things to all people. Well, don't tell Eastern New York that, because they have been serving the diverse needs of the youth soccer movement for almost 50 years. Here are some of their programs and benefits: U.S. Youth Soccer ENY Championship Cup, Arch Capital Group Cup, President's Cup, Premier League, ODP Olympic Development Program, Coles Cup, Top Soccer, Coaching Education, Trainer Standards, Risk Management, Annual Awards, Grants and Scholarships, Hall of Fame, Referees, and Soccer Across America, just to name a few. Eastern New York works with leading-edge technology to provide you, the parents, coaches, and players of Eastern New York, with the best and most efficient services. To find out more about Eastern New York Youth Soccer, go to our website at www.enysoccer.com or call us at 888-536-9972 or email us at enyoffice@enysoccer.com. Se habla español.
So what is important in this process is being aware of something that I call the creep effect, where the child begins playing soccer for the love of the game. and the parent begins taking the child to enjoy watching the child play. And then creeping into that, if they show any success at an early age, is the possible concept of a college scholarship. And therein lies the problem. So the first piece becomes the parent thinks more is better. If one team is good, 2 teams are better. If 1 training session is good, 5 training sessions are better. And the child, whether the parent wants to believe it or not, starts picking up on these clues of behavior that parents are exhibiting, that they have a goal to reach, which is to get a college scholarship. And the players are generally very honest about their own ability, and they can self-assess where they are and where their friends are very easily. So the 2 aspects that are critical here are the player might not love soccer as much as the parent does and might not want that same goal, or the player might recognize, I'm good, but I'm not as good as these 5 people playing with me, and so I just want to keep loving and enjoying the game. But the subtle pressures of the parents, who are well-meaning, they're trying to do more for their children, which is wonderful. We all want to do more for our children. So they're trying to do more, and sometimes the end result of that is the young player actually quitting because they can't succeed at the level that they perceive their parents want them to succeed at.
Technical ability means your ability to be comfortable on the ball. So your ability to receive a ball, to pass a ball, and sometimes dribble a ball, and to be able to do it in a well-balanced way where you can move to your left and you can move to your right, and that you can do it, really proficiently and efficiently, and that's something that's really emphasized, so that you can really, really master the skills that the game demands. So, as they get older, and good players like a Michael Bradley was a very small player growing up, and his whole game was built on technique and then being tactically aware. And Michael grew very late, like he was very, very small, but basically his foundation, to have a passion for the game and to have great technical ability and a good tactical sense to him, was what allowed him to become a professional. If you look at players from way back when, John Harkes and Tab Ramos were very similar. They were very small when they were growing up, but technically very, very good players, and then tactically they learned because they had a great passion for the game. So building up your technical abilities as well as having a passion to do it. And I think we talk about coaches. As coaches, we want to inspire kids. So can we motivate them? Can we challenge them? Can we inspire them to have fun and to enjoy it and to want to get better at things? And so when you find coaches that are able to do that, that's really important to your development, because hopefully they're going to lead you down the right paths, and it's going to move you forward. I think U.S. soccer is taking a good path into reducing the number of kids on a field and making the game smaller, so the kids will get more touches, and the emphasis on our technical ability hopefully will happen through that. But I think that's the most important thing, and I think just exposing them to be, to not worry about the winning and losing, but just find a good club that's working on their development and that they're, inspiring them. I think that's the most important thing. Accountability is a big part of it, a desire to want to prove yourself. And I think, good players and great players always have a desire to improve themselves. They have a thirst for knowledge, they want to learn, they stay open-minded, and they have a desire to want to prove to their coach and their teammates that they can do what's being asked of them. So if we're talking about crossing a ball with your left foot, or we're talking about getting into the back post and scoring ahead, or you're talking about closing down an opposition in midfield, all great players take on that competitive challenge to want to be the best at whatever's being outlined for them. And they tend not to make excuses, and they tend to be honest with themselves. And all those players fell short in some areas, right? Technically and tactically, talking about Connor, Tim, and Chris, but they had the desire and the willingness to keep working and to keep pushing themselves. And that's really something that's missing in youth sports today. is this really character development and value-oriented development and getting better and having to prove yourself to your coach and your teammates on a regular basis. And, you know, sometimes everybody wants to be the top goal scorer, but the top goal scorer usually is so happy because they're the top goal scorer, they don't want to learn anything else and generally don't become good players. And so really the best thing is to be able to be this overall player who wants to fit into the team and really understand the game and what the game demands are. And as you grow older and older, the game demands become more and more. You know, finding that right environment and trying to hopefully, and look, all our kids, if our kids are meeting all the expectations, then they're not in the right environment. So our kids certainly should be falling short somewhere. And that our kids need to learn that, you know what, that, hey, look, I got to work to improve upon that. That doesn't come. So everybody needs to be improving. So to say that I've got the greatest under 12, under 13, under 14 team, it may be true, your team's unbelievable, but I can guarantee each child needs to improve in different areas and in different aspects. And to understand that, and that thought process on its own will be instrumental in your child's development, both on the field and then off the field. Because being able to accept feedback, being able to accept falling short, being able to accept, you know, not being perfect all the time, hopefully gives them that determination and drive and willingness to stay in the game and keep continuing to battle. Whether that's in school, whether that's in a job, whether that's in life, whether that's through personal situations that they're going to face, those are the important components. And that's the character, values, and process that we talk a lot about here at St. John's, because it really kind of is life lessons that get taught on an everyday basis through sport.
Hi, I'm Kevin McCrudden. I'm an international author and speaker and the narrator and producer of this segment for Eastern New York Youth Soccer Association. So now you've seen a lot of information from some of the most amazing athletes and players that have ever come from the New York area, as well as some of the best coaches in New York. And their advice is pretty consistent. It's about guiding our children and being there to support them and making sure that we help them develop the motivation and the drive to be successful players as well as successful human beings. Remember, one of the most important things that we can do for our children is provide them with love, unconditional love. Because as parents, that is the most important thing that we can do. Not help them get college scholarships, but to help them flourish as human beings. And also remember that Michael Jordan, one of the most important things in his life is he was cut from his 8th grade basketball team. It was a defining moment in his life that helped catapult him to become one of the greatest basketball players and one of the greatest athletes ever in history. That one incident of him being cut was the thing that motivated him. So as we try to protect our children from being cut or having other things like that happen to them, it may be the very thing they need in order to grow as people and to become even more successful as athletes and as human beings. And one of the founding principles of soccer in Long Island and New York is a quote from Rocco Amoroso, is building character through soccer. In the end, that's what we're doing. It would be wonderful if our kids play in the World Cup team or in Major League Soccer or in the NWSL. But in the end, we're building human beings and not soccer players. Once again, this is Kevin McCrudden from Eastern New York Youth Soccer Association. I hope that you've enjoyed these clips and this information that we've provided you, and I hope that it helps you guide your child through their soccer career, once again helping them to become the very best that they can be. Take care and good luck.